Howdy, everyone. It's Wednesday. Welcome back for writing time. This is Miss Gregg again today. So when we start with our writing, I need you to have with you the personal narrative essay that you worked on yesterday. So make sure you have that out. And today we're going to actually be talking about what it means to revise your work. So revise means that you can change it up in some way. So here are some examples of ways you can revise. You can add in sentences or details that you might need. It might make your writing a little more interesting to read. You can remove sentences or details that you don't need. So you might have kind of started writing about something that maybe isn't exactly related to what you were talking about. So we can just remove that, just mark it out. You can move words or sentences to organize it better. Or you can change words or sentences. Maybe if you keep saying the same words over and over in your writing, you can pick a synonym or a word that means almost the same thing to make your writing sound a little more interesting. So I'm going to read to you again what I wrote yesterday for my personal narrative called Helping Others. And then we'll talk about maybe some ways that I can revise it or change it. So here was my story from yesterday. Let me read it to you so you can remember what I said. I helped the people at Madison House get ready for Christmas. I was in high school in 2011. My friends and I wanted to help the people at Madison House get ready for Christmas. We went there after school. We put up trees. We helped hang lights. We sang Christmas carols. The people were happy. There's one more page. Maybe if I can turn the page. There we go. I helped make the world a better place by bringing joy to the people at Madison House. So I'm going to think of ways I can revise. So I can add in things, I can take away things, I can change the words that I use to make it sound a little more interesting. So here's one thing I noticed that I did. In my first sentence, I said, "Get ready for Christmas." And then I said it again, the exact same thing down here. Get ready for Christmas. So I want to think of how can I say that in a little bit of a different way to make it more interesting for someone to read. So down here, what could I say instead of get ready? What's another word I could use? Well, the first word that I thought of was the word decorate, right? We decorate at Christmas time. So instead of get ready, I think I'll write decorate. So I just marked those out, and I'm going to write above it. That's why we skip our lines, so we have plenty of room to revise. So now it says, I wanted to help the people at Madison House decorate for Christmas. Okay, that sounds a little more interesting. So I also am going to look here. And I'm thinking about how I mentioned yesterday that we're writing things kind of like in the order that they happened. So I'm needing some transition words in there. So that's going to help make my story kind of flow a little better. So I'm going to put here first with a capital, first, and then I put a comma. So that goes right here. So now I can say, first, we went there after school. So that's saying, hey, I did that first. Then I'm going to put the word here, next. So I'll say, next, we put up trees. So I'm going to add that in right here with a comma. I like to call that like a macaroni noodle. It always reminds me of that. So it looks a little bit like this. Next, we put up trees. Now let's think back to when we are thinking about at Christmas time, what kind of trees? Did I just go in there and like put up an apple tree in the place where I went? No, that wouldn't make sense. So I may add the word, we put up Christmas trees. That helps my reader understand what kind of trees that I mean. We helped hang lights. Maybe here I can add in a word that would describe what kind of lights. So when it's Christmas time or the holidays and you hang up lights, what do they look like? That's cool. So when we went there, we just put up red lights, red and green lights. So I'm going to we helped hang red and green lights. So that again tells my reader, or it tells you, in this case, you're the reader, what kind of lights, so you can have that mental image of what it might have looked like. The next part, we sang Christmas carols. So I may add in an example, like a song that we sang. So I'm going to add in here, we sang Christmas carols, and I'm going to add another sentence here. I'm going to say, we sang Deck the Halls. Now this gets quotation marks because it's the name of a song. And those look like 2 macaroni noodles on either side. So we sang Christmas carols, we sang Deck the Halls. That gives you an example. So again, it's helping you in your brain imagine what it was like, what it looked like, what it sounded like. And then I said the people were happy. Now I want to think of a better word for happy. So what word also means happy? That's a good example. I was thinking of maybe excited or thrilled or joyful. I think any of those words could fit there. Or I could just add in the word very, and I could say the people were very happy. So any of those would be okay to do. So I'm going to mark out happy, and I'm going to put the people were joyful. That means they were full of joy. All right. So your job today on your writing is to try to think of maybe 2 or 3 things that you could revise or change. So it says on your checklist, it says to add. So think of, you can add maybe just a word. See how I changed this? I added that instead. I added a word here and I added a word here. So think of 2 or 3 things that you could add to your writing to make it a little bit stronger or more interesting. Now I chose to do mine in a pen today when I wrote it in pencil. If you would like, you can maybe choose a colored pencil or a crayon or some different color to help you see where you made your changes. That might be one way to help you. If you don't have anything at home, then you can just use your pencil, and that's fine too. So I hope you have some fun editing. The best thing that I always like to do is when I finish editing, I read my story out loud. Sometimes when we read things just in our brain, we can miss some mistakes. And so when you read it out loud, you hear it, and you can make sure, oh, okay, does this make sense? Does it sound like I want it to sound? And so you could read it out loud to yourself, or you could read it out loud to someone at home, and they can help you to say, yeah, that sounds good, or maybe we need to change something. So I'm going to read this out loud one more time just to make sure I like how it sounds, and then I'll let you go on and revise on your paper. All right. So again, mine's called Helping Others. I helped the people at Madison House get ready for Christmas. I was in high school in 2011. My friends and I wanted to help the people at Madison House decorate for Christmas. First, we went there after school. Next, we put up Christmas trees. We helped hang red and green lights. We sang Christmas carols. We sang Deck the Halls. The people were joyful. I helped make the world a better place by bringing joy to the people at Madison House. All right, how did that sound? Do you think that sounded pretty good? Yeah, I thought it sounded pretty good too. So I hope you have fun today revising your paper. We'll come back tomorrow and we will work on some editing. And editing is where we look at more of the spelling, we look at periods and capital letters. So I hope today you have fun just adding in some more details to make your story more interesting. And remember, these are some things you can do to revise. You can add sentences or details you need. You can remove sentences or details you don't need. You can move words or sentences to organize better, or you can change words or sentences. So any of these work, and I think you have this chart printed off in your orange folder. So look at that in case you are needing some more help on revising. All right, I'll see you later.